that was developed by Prolifics. The topic and subject matter that we're going to cover is the financial industry, and the particular use case is around the needs for banks to frequently update the information of their clients in mutual fund portfolios. Eventually, the information is kept by the mutual fund companies, and due to privacy and legal considerations, the mutual fund companies require receiving authorization before dealing with release of any data. The workflow that we're going to be exploring today requires coordination across three parties. The traditional methods of implementing this workflow are slow, often expensive, and can result in lost data and services. So by implementing an IBM Forms solution, we have the ability to collaborate online to fill out these forms, auto-populate data based upon information contained within existing data sources, and accelerate the entire process and prevent errors by utilizing field-level validation and business logic built into the form. When we go to our demonstration, you can see that there are three different roles. There's a bank representative, there's a customer, and there's a mutual fund co-agent. In this particular case, the workflow around this form is going to be initiated by the bank representative. So we're going to select the bank representative view and navigate through their part of the form. This is going to initiate the entire process. And again, it starts with the bank representative. All bank services within the United States are provided via state. So we're going to make a selection of the state where we want to perform our business. And we're also going to select a bank representative from the list of available bank representatives in that state. Here we have Carrie's information, and because I am actually a member of the bank, I can come in here and make changes to any of the data fields that are required. I can update our phone number, for example, or even change my contact information if I needed to. Once I have that information in the form, we're going to continue through this WISP-based interaction to customer information. Of course, since the request came in, we have it targeted towards a particular customer, and they happen to live in Massachusetts as well. So from our customer list of individuals who live in Massachusetts and do business with us, we can make a selection. Today we're going to work with Heath, right? And Heath's information, as soon as we make that selection from the list, is automatically populated into the form. And again, as a bank agent and the security that's built into the form, I cannot make changes here. But I can continue with the process and identify the mutual funds that Heath has with our company. So there are a number of different vendors we do business with, for example, American Funds Investment, and based upon the selection of that particular vendor, we have a list of products that are available. So we're going to add those products to a list, and based upon each selection we make, we'll have the associated fund ticker, and we're going to add 3 just to illustrate some points in the form, some capabilities, and they should all be different. Right? And we're going to click Next to continue. From the bank's representative's perspective, we've got the basic information we need to advance this process. So here is a traditional form. The actual form that we printed out and saved as a document of record is captured and displayed. As the bank representative, I can come down and review my information. Notice that the customer data and the bank representative data that I selected is auto-populated into the form. Also notice that there are additional fields here which I cannot modify because they're not to be completed by me in my particular role. Those will be handled by other actors in this use case. So I've completed my changes and we're going to make a submission. This submission, for the case of the demo, is going to return us back to our main menu screen. But traditionally what would happen is this would be submitted back to a workflow or another data source, and an email notification, etc., might be sent out to advance the process. We click Submit. Now that we've completed the bank representative, we want to go to the customer view. So once we select our customer view, we can begin that process of completing the customer requirements. All the customer information that was collected via the first role, the bank representative, is captured into this form. Right? We can update information that might be wrong. For example, zip code was missing a trailing 0. And again, we can update our personal information. We cannot change our contact information or our name in this particular interaction because they're primary identifiers for that user's records. Continuing on to our mutual funds, we can see that the bank gave us a list of existing funds that we have, and now it's our responsibility to enter in our original investment, right? So let's say that we've purchased a number of different items, but let's say that the bank's records weren't necessarily up to date. We no longer have American Funds Mortgage Fund. We're going to to, again, the traditional form, where we can see that a customer has to sign this off in order for it to be an official record. So we're going to click Sign, and we're going to go through the signing ceremony, which includes the action of signing, and we're going to enter in our full name, and the associated password for our account at the bank. We're going to click Accept and click OK. And notice that the bank had a facsimile signature on file. That's captured and brought into the form, so we don't need to complete that, and in many cases that meets all the legal requirements. Once we've finished entering information and signed off our form, notice that certain fields, which we had modified earlier and have the ability to edit, are now locked, digitally signed, and cannot be altered. Right? This is just one of two signatures that we'll have in this form, but the idea is that for each actor performing in this use case, they will have the ability to maintain and protect the integrity of the data that they provided. We're going to submit this back to return to our main menu. So this will be the step of the mutual funds company, and the agent there who made the initial request can come in and notice that they do not go through any of the wizard pages. They're brought straight to that traditional form, which now is interactive based upon this role. So we can see the different funds that they have listed, and all we need to know is the number of shares that they initially purchased. Once we enter in the number of shares based upon that customer's record, all the information associated with it is brought into our form. So as a bank agent, my time is used efficiently. As a customer, my time is used efficiently, and as the mutual funds agent, my time is also very efficiently used. So at the bottom of the form, we see the last section, right, where the mutual fund company agent has to enter in some principal information, such as the date when this transaction is going to be completed. Okay. Our company information is already pre-populated based upon previous entries in the form. The last thing that's required of us is some contact information. 617-817-5555, and tab out. And the very last thing that we have to do to complete it is to sign off on the form. So the mutual fund agent will come in here, they'll click sign, just like the previous signature ceremony. We're required to enter our full name and provide a password. Once we confirm that password, we're allowed to complete the process by accepting the terms and clicking OK. Notice that the name is populated into the form so we can visually see the individual signature, and that the application of the second signature has overlapped the prior signature, and now everything in our form is locked down and cannot be changed. So once again, we maintain the integrity of the form, and for the purposes of the demo, we're just going to complete the submission to return back to our main menu. What we've just witnessed there is the way that electronic forms can be used with intelligence to complete complex interactions between multiple different players and across multiple different institutions, including private customers.